I have a question regarding the comparison of healthy aging in different countries. How can we rely on this data? Because in different countries there is a different healthcare system, like Belgium, Germany, Finland, and Sweden. So they are not the same. Maybe the reports are not comparable.
Yeah, but then, so the short answer is you are right that there are differences in each country, of course. But when you take a look at the life expectancy, like here, the life expectancy, you see that there are no differences. So if the healthcare systems were so different, that we should have also consequences concerning life extension itself. You know, like if you compare European countries and the United States, or if you compare the European countries and the African countries, just for life expectancy, you see big differences. But here there are no big differences between for life expectancy itself, but there are big differences for the healthy years of life expectancy. And I really think that, well, there are, I can explain in a few words. So the first thing is, of course, no, the first thing is how do you measure healthy years of life expectancy? You ask to the people. And of course, it's less reliable than to know if somebody is dead, because to know if somebody is dead or not, well, sometimes there is it's not for sure, but it's really for a very small number of people. And a second aspect, very important aspect, is the fact that you don't ask to all people. You have a sample, and sometimes the sample is changing, and so this, I think, it's the first explanation of the big differences. They changed the panel of people. And the last thing for the differences between one country and the other country is that good health, in English, for example, is not precisely the same as bonne santé in French, and so on. So in each language, it's a little bit another concept. Well, it can be, yeah, because you have linguistic differences. Well, especially in Belgium, where we have 3 official languages.
There was another question there first.
Yes, I've talked about this to a lot of people, that they can maybe live to 150, 200 years old or something, but a lot of the people don't want to. They say, why do we want to live so long? And something else is, if we want to control aging, we need to control our food supply. That's the most important thing, I think. So, I mean, instead of going to repair damage being done, yeah, just go get healthy food, because that's the problem why we get sick, I think.
For the second question, I think the best person to answer will be Chris Verburg, who is speaking this afternoon. So I leave the tomorrow, who is speaking tomorrow, sorry. So I leave this to Chris Verburg. For the first question, well, for me the answer is very short. And so you are not obliged to take drugs or to go to doctor if you are sick. So the people who don't want to live longer, they are not obliged to live longer. You know, like you are not obliged. I remember 20 years ago, there were people against mobile phones. And okay, now I still know people against mobile phones, but the small difference between now and 20 years ago, that they also use mobile phones, but they still use. Okay, and like, but that's a little bit the same for the progress of medicine. There are people saying, yeah, it's not good to have so much technical aspects, and is it so good to live longer? But when they are ill, most cases they are going to the doctor as fast as you and me. Well, I don't know for you, and I don't know for me, and I don't go so often to the doctor.
Other questions?
With regard to overpopulation, my experience is that when you confront people that the doom scenario of overpopulation is not that simple, and there are contraindications, like for instance that overpopulation is contextual, and that, for instance, technology is a source liberating and a footprint lowering force which is accelerating. And there was a TED talk of a Danish demographer who calculated that in 2030 world population would level off at 10 billion. But still, then you hear some intellectuals like Etienne Vermeer, probably the most prominent intellectual of Flanders. He still holds on to that old conservative. He's a hardcore Malthusian. He still says we have to fight overpopulation. And in my experience, when I talk to people, that it is not that they don't have to tend to see the overpopulation problem from one side, then if you confront them with it 2 weeks later, they have fallen back to their old views. While I presented them the information that this overpopulation problem is will not necessarily happen, and that there are other factors that contradict it. How can we change that? Because from an evolutionary point of view, people always look at the negative things and try to push aside things that go into that doom scenario. But it's very tricky because.
Well, your question is larger than the questions about overpopulation. But okay, first thing is still. I think it's always good to have people thinking about doom solutions, doom situations, because it's better. Well, it's a better way probably to avoid doom situations. The second thing is, like I say, it's counterintuitive, and it's important to let know to the people until now, when people are living longer, the overpopulation is less a problem. I want to say, to be honest, that the situation in the European Union at the moment is that we have again fertility going up. So it's not always related life expectancy and the life expectancy. There is not always this correlation like I said. And the last thing is for projections on a very long term. You know, probably this this saying, it's very, how is that? It's very uneasy, very difficult to make prospective, especially for the future. So this funny sentence is especially true for long-term projections concerning overpopulation and concerning demography. Like here in this city, Brussels, just 20 years ago, the biggest problem of the city was that the population was decreasing. And now, the big problem of this city, one of the big problems of this city, is that the population is rising too fast. So, making predictions in 50 years, what's going to happen if, I think it's useful as one element, but I don't think, I think saying, to be short, people have to die soon because maybe we will have problems in 50 years, it's really a bad idea.
Didier, can you maybe inform the people about the coffee house where we can have coffee?
Yes.